You're recently injured. You have frequent aches and pains that have turned into a daily battle. Your nervous system has officially fried out, and you're so mentally spent you can't make one more decision. Have you been there? With your body or mind so vulnerable, injured, or worn thin, leaving you unsure of where to turn? It can be a real scary place when you feel like absolute bonk and the thought of, who can I call? Who can help me, and how do I get myself out of this situation seems relentless and daunting. This is why learning about the importance of fascial health and how to tend to it is super beneficial before you find yourself in crisis mode. My name is Renee Allen. I'm the owner of Still Point Myofascial Release here just outside of Portland, Maine, and I guide you through the process of navigating physical pain, mental angst and fatigue, or spiritual stagnation by way of the fascial system. Understanding the importance of fascial health is an eye-opening education that will give you some powerful tools to soothe what ails you, so that you're better able to lean on your body's wisdom as you journey through this modern world and feel better doing so. All too often, the calls come in from folks in crisis mode wanting to know how myofascial release can help them, which is great unless they live hours away, schedules don't align, the therapist isn't taking new patients or clients, or they're looking for a quick fix on a budget. All of which makes the acute situation even more stressful to navigate, leaving pain, angst, and physical uncertainty hanging in the balance. When you find yourself in healthcare no man's land and you don't have a trusted relationship with your body, you are at the mercy of who can see you, depending on logistics, insurance, and your budget, which is not the best solution, to say the least. But what's the alternative? Cue myofascial self-care. It is preventative care in more ways than one. Learning how to profoundly be able to help your body move and feel better, how to actively listen to your body's needs, and to know how to confidently meet those needs either on your own or by trusting your gut to reliably call the help you need is healthcare. Consider this. We often give ourselves two options when the body is feeling off. If the symptoms are mild enough, you may think, I can Advil my way out of this or ignore it long enough for the symptoms to pass. Or option number two, you outsource it by calling a doctor or other practitioner. But where's door number three? What about learning to effectively care for the body on your own? Your situation may not be dire or acute enough to outsource help, but it could still use some real practical attention, and numbing it out or waiting for it to wane does not count. The best time to invest in your fascial knowledge is now, before you don't know where to turn, before you're at the end of your rope, and before your body is about to break, if it hasn't already. The body communicates in so many ways. And when you're in chaos or crisis mode, like beginning to look to understand your body's language isn't necessarily optimal at that time. There's just so much going on. Developing that relationship while you're on relatively steady ground is highly encouraged, because as you probably know, acute chaos is tricky enough to work through on its own. Plugging in with yourself and your body enough to intimately know its cues, its demands, its communication style. I mean, like, you can probably read your partner or kids like a book. How about knowing your body's quirks and gestures and being able to anticipate your body's needs as well as you're able to do with those you are closest to? This is all possible through myofascial self-care. And when you take the time to develop and foster this relationship, this fascial relationship with your body, when you find yourself in crisis mode at some point, you will be there for yourself as your own best ally and own best advocate to come out of the other side feeling like your own best champion. And if you hear that call that now means now, like now before crisis mode hits or hits again, be sure to find some of those fascial resources in the links in the description below, and let's do this. And be sure to ask yourself, what have you done for your fascia lately?